Now in this video, I'm going to be breaking down how I believe Clef actually choked the game and what you can do as a Madden player to avoid these mistakes. Let's get into it. Now, starting off, we know that Clef is going to be for offense, Washington, meaning we have a variety of options. We have bunch open tight end, and then we have gun tight. And these are going to be the three that you're going to see a majority of players rotate between when they are in the Washington playbook. Now, as far as plays go, we're going to see Clef pretty much use gun tight exclusively, and it's going to be bench, slot post, PA cross, and then that's pretty much the only plays that he really utilizes the entire game. Now, a lot of players are going to have a good base run out of this gun tight, but we're going to see that Clef actually doesn't run the ball whatsoever, which is a huge thing that leads to, well, his downfall and honestly what cost him the game. So we know he's in Washington on defense. We already talked about how you can go about defending the Washington bunch, gun tight, bunch open tight end. All that's part of my defensive ebook over in the Madden Mastermind Discord server. Really terrible read. First off, deep out zone KO with a pick artist underneath. You just can't throw that. Now, he runs this PA slot cross so many times and it works twice. One gets a touchdown. The only reason it's a touchdown is because Dez over adjusted. He actually did an accidental adjustment, which caused him to give up that touchdown. And then the second time was just a bad user by Dez. So when something like that is consistently not working, you pretty much need to chalk it up and just either hold on to it for a lot longer than what you've been holding on to, or go to something else. Now, you notice that Clef comes out in bunch a lot, and I don't understand why he's audibling over to gun tight. Like, if he just doesn't know the blitz pickup for gun bunch and he knows the blitz pickup for gun tight. But in Washington bunch, it is arguably the most powerful bunch in the game, simply for the play that you guys have probably seen before. If you guys recognize, this guy goes on a stop and go route, and then this guy's a stock is on a check and release, but most people block it. It's for clear out FLN. And maybe I'm wrong. Maybe Clef isn't in Washington bunch, but I'm pretty sure he is. And the only thing he really does when he's in the bunch is gun bunch verticals, which, I mean, it works, but you gotta mix it up. So right here, bench. I'm going to be saying this a lot in this game. Bench was the best play he was running, and Dez could not consistently stop it. The reason for that is because anytime Dez was going against this gun tight, is he was preparing for the PA cross. This little wheel route, wheel fade, whatever you want to call it. He was pretty much preparing for that every single time by dropping this safety into middle third, this corner into an outside third for this kind of little weird corner out right here. And then this guy was a soft squat, and this guy would be on a deep half, okay? So this is a deep half. These two are thirds. And this guy would be left in a soft squat. And generally either A, he'd drop him into curl flat, or B, he'd blitz this guy off the edge. If he's doing that, he's sending both guys off of the edge. So again, kind of a little variation between the two. So bench, fantastic way to attack the side of field. Now, this is pre-patch. Literally yesterday's patch changes completely. The running back streak routes no longer work. Okay, they're back to how they used to be, which I knew that was a completely unintentional thing. EA never does anything good like that intentionally. They just like to say, you know what, let's just go back to how it used to be. So again, we see he's blitzing off the edge. Talk about how he loves running cover 2. And again, Clef would have known this if that first drive would have lasted a lot longer. He would have known that this is cover 3 on this side and this is a cover 2 on this side. He would have known that immediately. But because that first drive was so incredibly short, you don't really give a good tell as far as what they're going to do. And again, we see it's a good old-fashioned cover 3 on one side, cover 2 on the other. He might be running a cover 6. It's possible, but the way the safeties are looking at it, it looks like it's definitely not a cover 6. He's dropping that side into a cover 3. Now, he motions him back in. On defense, I'd expect to see route. This time, it's just good old-fashioned bench. You can see right there, as I'll talk about, I don't understand why Clef doesn't go to bench more and more. And why he doesn't stay in bunch. Clef is a good bunch player, and he gets out of it for some reason. I don't know why, what his thought process is behind it, but again, you can see bench, chunk plays, touchdowns. It is working. Even the little out route checkdowns on the right side of the field are going to be open as well, unless he makes an adjustment right here and Dez all of a sudden drops this guy into a hard flat, this guy into an outside third, this guy inside third, and does something like this. this little baby out route, if this guy's coming off the edge, is going to be open. Now, if you go ahead and take this guy, and this is something he should have been doing a lot if he reads the defense, is motion this guy out, streak route, corner route, and then running back on a little, whatever, flat route you want to call it, and just attack the sidelines. He just does not catch on to that, but he keeps running PA cross. And that's how he's living. He's living by just throwing it into coverage every single time. And Dez, you know what? At this point, you got to be okay with that. I mean, it's not an ad catch. Eventually, your defense is going to go through with it. So, again, Dez's first thing is just prepare for PA cross. That's literally the only thing he prepares for. And you can see how he prepares for it right there. If Clef stayed in the pocket, that corner out would have been open, but he was getting blitzed and the pass rush was getting home, so of course he had to go throw it away. So right here, this is why DB Fire 2 is so good, why Dollar in general is so good, because you can get pressure off the edge consistently, 4, 5, 3, sometimes even. It's really weird how sheds work in this game, but again, you can just see how we're getting consistent pressure. Now, at the same time, this bench is consistently working. If something is consistently working, don't go away from it. Keep working it, because again, we know this is a cover 2 on this side. We know this is a cover 3 on this side. This guy, more often than not, is blitzing, or I believe he's dropping him into a 3 receiver hook, one of the two. Occasionally put him into a vert hook, but so far we have never seen him drop this guy into flat. So we know this out route's a little option, because this is a cover 3 on this side, cover 2 on this side. If he goes ahead and leaves this out route, that little soft spot's going to get sucked down. The corner out would be kill shot right there. So we know all this stuff. We're trying to keep note of it. And again, on offense, I mean, you can see this corner is literally open every single time. Even if he takes that guy and he mans him up, he is open every single time. Now, right here, I believe this is that fluke. Yeah, this is the fluke I was talking about. This is something that Dez just messed up his adjustments. I believe what he was trying to do is take this linebacker and drop him into a curl flat. And then he was going to take this guy and drop him into a middle third or outside third. And you can see right there, this guy's rotating inside, so that's a middle third. And Clef wasn't expecting this to be open at all. In fact, this is such a weird route combination. Look how many receivers there are. Like, this user can guard all 3 of these guys. It's so strange. I don't like it. But again, you can see right there, that was just a very fortunate misadjustment by Dez. I think he happened to just miss one adjustment. Otherwise, that play would have been a complete bag. So again, you can see how DB Fire 2 is just screaming off the edge. Really unfortunate click on right there. That little inside go route, whatever you want to call it, would have been open. Right here, he finally identifies. This is something that a lot of players struggle with, is identifying coverage post-snap, especially if you're getting blitzed. For anybody, it don't matter how good you are, anybody feels the pressure at any given point in time. So right here, he finally recognizes that. Remember, we talked about this being a cover 3 on this side. This is a cover 2 on this side. So you don't really need this streak route. In fact, what I would have done if I was Clef is I would have left this bench on this side. I would have left this little out route right here, this little corner route right here. And then instead of having the out route, you leave this corner out and you take this guy and you motion him out. And you run a route combination kind of like this, with the running back running the out route to the right. Now, given that he's going to be blitzing more than likely off of both edges right here, you've got to try and pick the blitz up, even though it's very difficult to go ahead and do so. So we know it's cover 3 to the right side. Clef finally identifies that. He has a little check down across the middle field. He misses his check down. He's going for the big play. And if he had to hit that check down, he would have had a first down very easily. And again, you have to have a hot read, especially if you know that there's going to be a blitz coming. Like, for example, right here, we see threat detector. Now, unless he drops these guys, these 2 slot corners, into pass coverage all of a sudden, you know there's pressure coming here, there's pressure coming here. And had you taken that check down, it could have been, instead of 3rd and 10, it could have been 3rd and 2, maybe even 3rd and 1. There's a very big difference in 3rd and 10 versus 3rd and short. So we know this more likely pressure is coming off the edge. We know that this is the user right here because of the blitz icon, because most people are going to blitz their user. Again, that's just to help get the pressure home. We see he drops the pressure off, so we now know it's just coming from the left side. This guy's more likely going to come ahead and scream at us, so we got to have a hot read. So right there, he mans up the running back. He has the corner wide open, and again, you can see how this bench is just working every single time. He's picking up on that cover 3 shell. Now, this is something that's really important, adjusting on offense. I don't think enough people talk about this, and it should be talked about a lot more. But when we're working in, so we've worked in bench quite a bit, and bench attacks the sideline. So you've got this sideline right here, you've got this sideline right here. That is what bench is going to focus on. So what Clef is essentially doing in this situation, and how you can attack and work in bench and work in these crossing patterns, is if you anticipate, because it's 3rd and 10, we see this guy's coming off the blitz, more likely this guy's be in a flat, or he's going to be in a little verhook. It's one of the two. I really doubt he's in a 3-rack, and I really doubt he's manning him up right here. So with that note, we have seen so far there haven't been any zone drops yet from the soft squat. Now, it's not to say that this guy could be potentially put into an outside third, or he could all of a sudden run zone drops right here. But so far in this entire game, he has yet to use zone drops unless he's dropping deep zones. So we're going to go and let this play out. We know there's a blitz coming from the right side. We know the guy on the left is in some sort of man assignment or some sort of coverage assignment. We see the user. The blitz is still coming through. You can see the blitz comes through. We have a good read right here. Some people may say this is a risky throw. I don't think this is. You can see right there, this time this guy drops into an outside third. So we talk about this guy's in a curl flap. No, I'm pretty sure it's a curl flap of some variety. And you can see right there, crossing pattern is wide open because he's starting to adjust to the sidelines instead. So we take advantage of that, forces the user to pick and choose what he's going to go ahead and pick. And then we hit the crosser. So it's very simple. You work, if you're a passer, if you're a pass heavy player, this is how you work it. This is the formula for success. If you want to 100% pass, then you have to work both the sidelines, and then you have to work the middle portion of the field. You have to work all of this. You can't just focus on one side again and again and again and again. You can't just hit corner out, corner out, corner out, corner out, corner out, because people will adjust. A good player will adjust to that. And so you have to pay attention to, number one, this is the primary thing that everybody struggles with, is read the defense. If you can't read the defense post snap, you're going to struggling in identifying what they're doing. And now, again, we see that Clef was starting to pick up on that cover 3 super late into the game, which is essentially what cost him, because he could have been running this bench a hell of a lot more than what he was running earlier. Because if you notice, it's a cover 3 on one side. You take that outside receiver, you motion out, streak them, and you clear out for that corner out. And these corner outs are very good. They have to zone drop you at that point, or they have to run match defense. So, number one, read the defense. That is the number one priority post snap. Of course, pre-snap is important, but post-snap is more important, especially when you're playing pro players such as Dez or CleffTheGod or anybody that's very good at the game. Post-snap is the most critical piece of information you can get, which leads me to number 2. We talked about this, but pass everywhere. Everywhere of the field has to be attacked if you're going to be 100% pass. Now, this leads me to point number 3. Run the ball. You have to at least try and run the ball and potentially catch them on a pass commit. Now, what happens on a pass commit? A pass commit essentially goes ahead and the defense is slow. The defense does not shed very often. And then on top of that, sometimes you will also get pancakes. I'm just going to draw a pancake right here, okay? You'll sometimes get pancake blocks, though not frequently. Occasionally you will, especially as they work their way down to linebackers and then work their way to the safeties. Especially the safeties are very easily pancaked against the line when they pass commit. Now, this is a little bit different of weak box that we'd experienced in the past, but this is essentially how it is. So that's the formula for success. If you want to pass the ball 100% of the time, you got to work every part of the field. If you want to pass the ball 100% of the time, you know what? I say pass the ball 100% of the time, but also say you got to run the ball. You got to catch them on a pass commit, because you can see earlier in the game, I'm trying not to pause this too much, but earlier in the game, when he was running play action, these guys just simply ignored him. So we know he's pass committing every single time. Again, bench. Had he been running this a lot sooner, look at this. Running back streak route. Out route. That looks like it's an outside third because he's turning his hip and he's running backwards. This side of the field, that's a flat. So right here, we know if we were to have the time, this guy right here, assuming this looks like a deep half right here. this corner out would have been open right there, provided this isn't a zone drop right there. But so far, we know he hasn't run a zone drop. So, again, a little out route. So he's switching the cover 3 to the opposite side of the field now. Again, this time plays maximum coverage. At this point, you just got to get time. And see how these guys are just shedding? It's a pass commit. You got to run the ball. I know I hate running the ball. Like, any passer, pass-heavy player hates running the ball. But had Clef run the ball, then this is something I think that's good and weird about Madden. If he had run the ball and the opponent is not pass committing, then what happens is these guys, if it's a play action, they actually will come in and then chase the running back and then just loop back down to the quarterback as soon as they immediately recognize, hey, it's not actually a run, it's a pass. So maybe it gives you one more second, like if that, but that one more second could be enough time for this corner out to potentially develop longer and give you a kill shot on the sideline. So again, working the pass, working the run. If you're going to pass 100% of the time, you got to work different parts of the field, and you have to pay attention to what they're running as far as coverage tells. So right here, again, this guy so far has not turned his hips, but I'm assuming this is just a good old-fashioned cover 4 down the field. These guys look to be in a curl flat. This guy is... Maybe this guy actually might be in an inside third right here, and there's the user. Again, he's just trying to take away the deep shot because that's all he's doing in this particular formation is just deep shot, deep shot, deep shot. So, yeah, cover 4, it looks like just a plain old cover 4 right there. Just good pass coverage. He catches him off guard. But, again, we can see 3rd and 25. This is something that Clef has struggled with every single time he goes to bunch. So, this is kind of where I think Clef doesn't really feel comfortable picking up the blitz. But, again, picking up the blitz, blitz pickup should be like... It's going to sound wild, but like 20% of the time, because it takes too long to set up all your hot routes, set up your pass protection, etc. And with the clock wind down being just like all of a sudden going from 30 down to like 10 in a heartbeat, you just don't have time. So this is why I say blitz pickup is like 20% of the time for most players. A lot of players are just going to look to pass the ball on you just because we don't have time to set up pass protection. And it's right there because we don't have time to set up pass, bro. He goes ahead and has to hit this running back wheel with 2 people coming in and risk getting an under pressure throw. But luckily, Jason Witten's going to go ahead and break those tackles. So this leads us to 4th and 7. This is going to be the last play of the game right here. You guys have probably, if you watched the tournament, you knew who won this game anyways. So I don't really care about spoilers. But overall, the big mistake. Number 1, Clef should have ran bench more. A lot more. He should have been running bench, I would say 50% more of the time than what he was running. Number 2, he should have been running bunch more. Because Clef is a good bunch player. Maybe not, I don't know if he's super comfortable in bunch this year, but if you're running Washington bunch, you've got to be running bunch way more. I would say if I'm in Washington, I'm in bunch personally about 60% of the time. Again, I'll work my way into gun bunch open tight end, but 60% of the time out of 3 different formations gives you a lot to work with. Number 3, this could probably go for number 1 as well, is look at this defensive line. So this guy is right here. Okay, this defensive end is right here. This DT is right here. This defensive end is right here. I understand that running the ball against Dollar is very difficult, but run the ball. You have to be able to run the ball because if not, at least I would say at least, even if you're a heavy passer like I am, run the ball at least 10% of the time, at least slip it in. The reason for that is if they are pass committing, these guys are going to shed it like mad, even if they drop everybody into coverage. Now, on top of that, if you run play action, these guys will dumb out. We talked about this just earlier. These guys will dumb out, take after the running back, and then go back after the quarterback. So it gives you just one more second in the pocket to maybe allow that corner route to develop, maybe allow a wheel route to develop or a post route, whatever it may be. It allows you more time for a play to develop because the corners will chase after the running back. So slip in and run every once in a while. Don't just stay committed to the pass every single time. And especially in Madden 23, when defense is very, very difficult, crazily enough, you've got to control this clock. Like, look at the score, bro. It is this is great. It is a combined total of 69 points between the two teams. If time management was done a little bit better, I think this would have forced Dez's hands to be a lot more aggressive. And then Clef, because he would have potentially had the game tied, he maybe would have got the ball back with a tied game or down 3 points with a lot more time than it is now, or they would have been going into overtime. So work they're running. As you can tell here, this is gonna be game. He actually picks up the blitz for once right there, and that might have been a pick artist. I just went ahead and animated. I hope some of these tips help you guys out. If you want 100% pass, you can do that, but you have to understand that if one play is working, you keep going back to it again and again and again. It does not matter at all. If a play is working, if a base run they can't stop, if a stretch run they can't stop, dive, bench, mesh post, whatever it may be, they can't stop it. You just keep doing that again and again and again. And I know some people are like, oh, that's just cheese. No, that's called your opponent sucks at the game and just can't stop that one play. It's not on you for them to stop the play. It's on them to stop the play, and it's on you to just keep spamming it again and again and again. We're looking to win games. We're not looking to be friends here. That's how Madden has always been. So if this has helped you out in any shape or form on defense, even a little bit as well, be sure you drop a like on the video, subscribe if you guys are new to the channel, and of course, if you want monthly one-on-one coaching, there are 2 links in the description below, both PayPal links. One gets you access to the Discord server with all the content there. The other one gets you access to the Discord server, but also the monthly coaching as well. Check those out, become a member today, and as always, we will catch you guys in the next one.
Go. Hustle hard, hustle every single day. I'll be making moves till I'm buried in my grave. To the system, I don't wanna be a slave. I've been doing shit my way, or the highway. And in the driveway is a nice range. Cause I grind through the climb, I invite pain. You'll never